to the Aggies' success, not just tonight, Casey, but throughout the whole season.
And we'll talk more about the resumes of these two teams heading into this match as we go through tonight's matchup. Sam Houston will serve it up first. Annalise Lucio, one of those transfers we talked about for the Bearcats. Bearcats, a really young team made up of mostly freshmen and sophomores. Molly Brown with a two-handed kill for the Aggies to get it started.
And Molly Brown, a new face for the Aggies this year, the transfer out of Purdue. A little bit of a messy first play, honestly, but Molly Brown did a nice job of just staying strong at the net and ending up with the point for Texas A&M.
They must have called net. I missed it, but
I missed it too.
They gave Sam the point, so we'll move on. There's Mew, tips it over, and going to get a two-hit call on Sam Houston State.
That point to Texas A&M. Lauren Hogan on the serve for the Aggies.
Lauren Hogan serving it up for the Aggies, transferred in from Syracuse along with the setter, Elena Caracassi. Maddie Bowser with a change of speed. Good eye on the court.
And Casey, we talked so much about the pin players at the beginning of this match, but Texas A&M is also going to need to get their middles going and going quickly. That was a nice job of Matt Bowser just taking a little bit off that ball, seeing the hole, getting the tip for a kill.
Hogan misses her serve. Something the Aggies have tried to minimize a lot this season. It started off a little rough, but then they got better as the matches have progressed. Trying to serve aggressively can lead to a lot of errors. There's a big swing on the right side from Sam Houston State. In her 5th season at the helm of the Aggies program is Laura Bird-Coon. She's guided this program now for 5 seasons with the same 2 assistants she started with when she got here. There's another kill from Sam Houston. The Bearcats have a 2-point lead now here early on in this first set.
Yeah, Bearcats are just doing a nice job of running their offense and finding some holes in this Texas A&M defense. Some good serves by Haley Hyder back there as well.
There's Lednicki coming from the back row, and you talked about her power, and it was evident right there.
Logan Lednicki has just been so much fun to watch this season, and she continues to get better even early on in the season. Again, just so much power coming from the freshman. A lot of times it takes players a year or two to catch up to the speed of Division I volleyball, but Logan Lednicki came in completely prepared and at the speed that they're playing at right now.
It's a big block from Caroline Muth on the outside. Lednicki blocked. Muth off the tip gets the kill for Texas A&M. Brenda Gray, in her 39th season at the helm of the Bearcat program, got her 750th win recently with a sweep against Prairie View A&M.
Yeah, Coach Gray has just been in the game forever, and anyone in the sport of college volleyball knows exactly who she is and her legacy.
She's got a familiar face as an assistant coach on the sideline with her there, and her daughter Taylor, who also played for her at Sam Houston.
Yeah, Taylor played at Sam, and now she's coaching. So I think this is her 12th year with the program, between being a player and a volunteer assistant and now an assistant coach for the Bearcats, following in her mom's footsteps.
There's a nice dig from Lednicki, and Muth goes up on the second ball. Sam Houston digs it up. A block. Maddie Bowser and Logan Lednicki team up to get the block for the kill.
Great block for Texas A&M. They are coming off a very good blocking weekend. Double-digit blocks in all 3 matches at the TCU tournament, and they are picking up right where they left off.
4-0 scoring run now for the Aggies. Lednicki off the block. She's going to get another chance here. Sends it over. Bearcats send it over from the back row. Quick to Bowser, in for the kill. 5-0 scoring run now for Texas A&M.
Yeah, and again, I talked about how heavy Texas A&M likes to set their pin hitters, but when they get the middles going, they become so much more effective. Everybody just ends up with a solo block. Maddie Bowser with a great swing out of the middle for the Aggies.
Nice swing out of the middle for Sam Houston. Madison Dyer, I'm sure we'll be saying her name quite a bit here tonight.
Yeah, Madison Dyer has been excellent for the Bearcats on the season. And she starts off strong, just a freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas.
It starts with the pass, and that pass was perfect for the Aggies on serve receive.
And this is also what I love about Logan Lednicki and Caroline Muth. In this particular rotation, they stay in opposite sides. So Caroline Muth will stay on the right side. Logan Lednicki, a lefty, not always comfortable hitting from the outside, are lefties, but Lednicki showing that she can get it done.
Some of the power of Muth's serve was taken off by the net, and a touch on the hit from Sam Houston to end the Aggie scoring run there.
Yeah, nice swing by Mackenzie Morvant out of the middle, number 15 for the Bearcats. And just like Texas A&M is trying to get their middles involved, Sam Houston has to do the same.
Bad pass on serve receive. CC Hecht in to play back row now for the Aggies at outside hitter. Get a look at Avery Fowler, the freshman setter from spring. Back to Bowser. Krieger will get another swing. That one's blocked out of bounds, so point for the Bearcats.
Catherine Krieger on the outside is the Bearcats' go-to. She came into this match leading the team with 69 kills, and she has to be able to produce a lot of points on the outside for Sam to come away with a victory tonight.
Sam Houston doing a good job of playing defense off the Aggie middle run. Except that time, Madison Bowser changed her direction, went the opposite way to get the kill.
I love this production from Madison Bowser early on in this match. Karakazi, take a look at the setter. She looks at the defense and is still able to then find the ball and set it. That is what you do when you pass the ball well. You allow your setter to get to target, take all the time in the world. Bird has talked to us about Karakazi, saying she knows how to slow down the game. The game is slower for her than a typical player, and you could see it in that last play.
Misplay there by the Aggies as CC Hecht couldn't come up with the ball there on the overpass.
Well, CC Hecht and Molly Brown both jumped, and I think they both thought the other one was either going to take a swing or block that ball, and instead it just landed right in the middle of them. So a little miscommunication there by the front row players for the Aggies.
Tied up at 9 now. The Aggies have led by as much as 5 here in this first set. There's another middle, this time Molly Brown coming in and getting the kill.
And this is a really nice swing because Molly Brown doesn't try to hit this ball straight down. Watch how deep this ball goes. That is a perfect hit from a middle because that ball is so hard to defend. Great placement by Brown.
Ace for Logan Lednicki. She does it all.
Lednicki only came into this match with 2 aces, getting one here early on, and that was a beautiful serve by the lefty.
She uses her long arms to keep this play going, and CC Hecht sends it over. Nice job from Sam Houston to come back after that one and go to their middle hitter to get the kill.
Madison Dyer into the match for the Bearcats, replacing Mackenzie Morvant.
Texas Aggies! Texas Aggies! Oh!
Nice stop by Karakasi to see that ball and take the tight set, send it over.
Yeah, I love how aggressive Karakasi is for Texas A&M. This should have been pretty obvious, and the Bearcats just didn't read it correctly. That ball is really tight. Karakasi goes right up and over, and no one is there to even contest the shot. Nice job by the setter.
Block's going to be, a net violation is going to be called on Texas A&M. Looks like they're going to get Karakasi in the net. A&M once again going in the middle. This one, though, hit out. So the Aggies continue to push that middle hitter. They really want to utilize that position.
You can tell what their game plan is tonight, trying to get the middles more involved. But they've got to be able to keep that ball in the court. Sam doing a great job of staying close in this set.
Touch going to be called on libero for Sam Houston.
Yeah, Hannah Baker did all she could to get those hands back down, but that ball is coming so fast from Lednicki that Baker puts her hands up to play it, and before she can second guess, that ball has already gone off of her finger. So a little bit of a break there for Lednicki, but that's where that power comes into play.
Third kill for Lednicki so far tonight. Overpass, back row attack, going to be called on the setter for Sam Houston, Fowler.
That was a really great play by Caroline Muth because she went straight up. She didn't try to reach for the ball over the net, and that made the ref's job a lot easier to call that ball correctly.
Sorry, I said that's Fowler. That's actually not Fowler. That was Lucio that got called for back row attack there. And first to 15, so there's going to be a timeout here, and we'll take it with them. Right now, Texas A&M holding on to a 3-point lead. Sam Houston playing scrappy, though. We knew the Bearcats would. We'll see what happens when we come back with the rest of the first set right after this. Back in Bryan College Station at Reed Arena as Texas A&M is holding on to a 3-point lead here in the first set against down the road foe Sam Houston State. Huntsville and Bryan College Station are only 50 miles apart if you're not familiar with where these two schools are located from each other. Nice job by Sam Houston to come out of that timeout. It wasn't a called timeout, it was a scheduled one, but Haley Hyder came in and really saw that open spot on the court.
Yeah, beautiful swing, cross-court shot. The only non-Texan on this roster, Hyder coming out of Albany, Oregon. A little further than 50 miles down the road.
Yeah. There's a block by Bowser. But then the Bearcats come right back, and Dower, we mentioned her name earlier and said we'd be saying it a lot. I have a feeling we will. She comes back with authority.
Yeah, Madison Dyer as a middle blocker, Casey, ranked second on the team coming into this match with 65 kills. So this is a little unlike A&M, who we've been talking about. They need to get their middles going more. Dyer has been going all season long.
And there's Dyer combining on a block of Caroline Muth to get the point.
Yeah, that's Alyssa Fielder on the outside. This is a beautiful block by the Bearcats. Muth has so much power, but if she goes right into your hands and you get them up and press over, Fielder all over that.
Karakasi, knowing when she needed to get some momentum back on Texas A&M side, uses that tight pass to her advantage.
When she is in the front row, she is so offensive. And even when she's in the back row, you got to be careful that she doesn't try to dump it over sneakily. But especially on the front row, she does such a nice job.
Dyer dug up by Karakasi. Lednicki will send it over. They're going to get a net violation on Texas A&M.
That is such a bummer because that was such a great dig by Karakazi. That was a beautiful defensive play by the setter, and it ended up not counting for anything because of the net violation.
We're tied up at 16. Muth from the right side gets the kill on serve receive.
This is a quick set that Muth actually didn't have a great swing on. Watch her arm, just kind of pops it cross court. But again, that control, that ball control, Casey, just allows her to do so much and still come away with the point.
Mr. Serve coming back to the back row. Pay attention to her in the back row. The Aggies will set her quite a bit, as they do Lednicki when she's in the back row.
Which is why these two players play all 6 rotations, because they are just as good on the back row offensively as they are in the front row.
Heck pushes that one deep. Baker had some issues getting around Hyder to get to that ball, and so the point goes to Texas A&M.
Allison Fields and Molly Brown enter the match for Texas A&M.
Let's go, Molly. Let's go, Molly. Let's go, Allie.
Placing Lauren Hogan and Madison Bowser. Serving for the Aggies. Allison Fields.
Allison Fields comes in,
Point, Bearcats.
serves it out, so gives the Bearcats a point back. We're tied at 18, another tie.
Madison Bowser and Lauren Hogan return to the match. Replacing Allison Fields.
Net. 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 Army.
Hecht rejected, but she sends it back up, and Molly Brown can't come down with it as the Bearcats put up a big block.
Yeah, great job by Mackenzie Morvant going up and blocking that ball, and that's going to force a timeout for Texas A&M. Casey, this set a lot closer than I think the Aggies expected.
I think a lot of people are surprised by what they're seeing here, including Sam Houston. They're playing very well right now.
I was going to say some of it is Texas A&M with a few errors here and there, but right now, Casey, Texas A&M is hitting 300. Sam is hitting 348. Both of these offenses are going off and playing very well. And, man, what a showing by the Bearcats. Like you said, I think everybody in the gym is a little surprised right now.
Well, they're holding a 1-point lead over Texas A&M, as I mentioned early on in this broadcast. This is the Aggies' first standalone match that they've played. They just got back from TCU fighting the Fort in Fort Worth, went undefeated in the tournament, swept Coastal Carolina and Memphis, and then beat TCU in 3-1. Allison Fields with the match-winning ace in the fourth set. And then the double-digit blocks in all 3 matches is the stat that really stands out.
And I think everyone was a little curious of how the Aggies were going to bounce back after that tough opening weekend. They beat Hawaii, but then they lost to San Diego and to Pitt. But I don't think what people understood were how good those teams were. And so for Texas A&M to come back, maybe play some competition that was a little bit more their speed, they were able to really show what they're made of. And again, this is a team that isn't really used to playing with one another. A ton of transfers, a ton of freshmen, lots of new faces. They are just going to get better as the season progresses. I truly believe that, because they are going to gel and mesh even more.
Yeah, at the Fight in the Fort tournament, you mentioned Caroline Muth in the opening and what an impact player she is. She really showed out in that tournament as well.
Timeout, Sam Houston's taking for leading 19-18.
Net. Net. Net.
Catherine Krieger will serve it up for the Bearcats as they go to Lednicki, do the Aggies, and she puts it straight down on the court. Look out.
Casey, this is exactly what you want out of a timeout. You want to draw up the play that you want. That ball is absolutely smashed by Lednicki. She has to come really far inside, but because of that, it gives her so much power, and with the split in the block, it was wide open.
But then the Aggies come right back and answer that with a missed serve to give the Bearcats the 1-point lead once again.
Yeah, and that was Lednicki. After that big kill, you got to go back there and really focus behind the line. And right here, everyone's job is to start with a pass.
Lednicki out of the back row. The Bearcats are there. The Aggies block it. Dyer sends it over. Hecht off the block for the kill for Texas A&M to tie it up at 20.
And every player on the squad that can get a kill other than Muth and Lednicki is important, because that means you're spreading out your offense. Right there, they're able to go to CC Hecht on the outside. A great job of tooling off the block. She had to tip a lot of balls before that. She's finally able to get a swing.
That's going to go off the antenna, so point Texas A&M. Going to have a timeout by Sam Houston here as Brenda Gray wants to talk about the momentum that seems to have shifted back to the Aggies.
Timeout.
Mentioned the Fight in the Fort tournament and how Caroline Muth showed out. Well, she was awarded team MVP of that tournament in Fort Worth last weekend. And there you see the rest of it. Kara Kasi was best setter, Lauren Hogan was best defender, and Lauren Lednicki was all tournament team.
Yeah, all four of these players did a great job over the weekend, and really all in all, the team just improved from the first weekend to the second weekend. But these four especially, I mean, you talk about Caroline Muth, tournament MVP, hitting .328. That is a really high percentage for an outside hitter, and then 6 aces on the weekend. Just an incredible job behind the line. And then Lednicki coming in strong with 41 kills. We talked about them being impact players, but you can't forget the Syracuse transfers, Karakazi and Hogan, doing a great job for the Aggies as well.
All right, so Texas A&M, we've seen the lead go back and forth. A&M led by as many as 5 points here in this first set, but now they're up by 1. Sam Houston has called a timeout. Both teams used 1 timeout so far here in this first set.
Texas A&M did a great job of getting the point out of their timeout. I'm interested to see what the Bearcats draw up here out of their called timeout, but ultimately they have to start with a good pass so they can run the play that they have planned.
Well, with Madison Dyer in the game, you can bet they're going to be targeting her. Look at Ava Underwood, a freshman. One of the newer faces, one of the new faces, I should say, on this Texas A&M team this season.
Coming out of the timeout, Texas A&M back on the serve with number 12, Ava Underwood.
Underwood, an incredible high school player from Fulshire, Texas. Was really in the running for that starting libero spot with Lauren Hogan, and could easily change into that jersey and do a great job for the Aggies.
There's Dyer, and they went to her right off the timeout. You called it. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Well, you said that's what you want coming out of a timeout.
Yeah, you need to get a good pass, and then you want to run exactly the play that you're looking for. Dyer, double block, does a great job. She hangs so high in the air. She's able to turn that ball. She sees the double block and goes right to the side of it.
In the last 5 matches between these two teams, A&M has only lost 2 sets, so they're looking to keep that streak going. Sam Houston, though, is going to fight all the way to the end. That's going to be a kill for Caroline Muth as the dig goes off the antenna for Sam Houston.
Yeah, regardless of who wins this ball game, Casey, or this set, I should say, both teams have played really, really well in the first set, really come out strong. This is a great Tuesday night volleyball match so far.
Ava Underwood with the dig on the back row for the Aggies. Muth takes some off. And Sam Houston takes some off to get that kill.
That's
nice job.
Yeah, it's a roll shot that was really successful. Typically a ball that Lauren Hogan, I think, gets up, and she just kind of misplayed it a little bit. Ball ends up kind of going straight into the net, but ultimately a nice job by the Bearcats to just get the point.
There's Madison Bowser, and they were successful running that play early on in this first set, and now they've gone back to it finally with a good pass.
Love getting Bowser going. This is a nice job by Muth, just straight up through the hands of Dyer. Dyer was there, just got to seal off that block a little bit quicker. I think Bowser was faster with the arm swing.
Krieger, dug up by Ava Underwood. And then Lednicki comes back to get the kill for the Aggies. The Aggies 2 points away from closing out. I should say 1 point away from closing out this first set here at set point.
God, she's just so much fun to watch.
Isn't she?
The power. The Bearcats have to close that block, Casey. They absolutely have to close that block. Logan Lednicki is basically hitting warm-ups right now. She is swinging at an open net because the Bearcat block is not closed. And if you're the outside for Sam Houston and you don't feel your middle there, you have to dive in. You have to try to close that block as much as you can because Lednicki hasn't gone line at all this set. All she's doing is crushing that seam, so the Bearcats have to make that adjustment.
Well, and Nikki is picking up right where she left off out of that Fort Worth tournament. She was named Freshman of the Week, hit .395 with 23 kills against TCU, had her first career solo block against Memphis, and 41 kills total in the Fight in the Fort tournament.
Yeah, we've talked about some really impressive young right sides that Texas A&M has had in the past, but none of them have played with the maturity of Logan Lednicki, at least in my recent memory. She sees the court so well, and she does such a great job of picking her spots, figuring out where she wants to go. Yes, she hits with a ton of power and a ton of explosiveness, but the fact that she can hit like that from the back row and from the front row makes her such a versatile offensive weapon. She can even hit from the outside, and then not to mention the blocking game, it's there as well. She has just been absolutely lights out so far. Lednicki, 5 kills already on the day. Casey, get this, 556 is what she's hitting right now.
She's attacking well right now. Set point now for the Aggies as Elena Caracaso will go back to serve. Once we complete this timeout. It starts with the pass, and Hannah Baker had a great one off that serve. It's still going to be set point for Texas A&M.
We haven't mentioned Baker a whole lot tonight, but she does a great job in the back row for the Bearcats. You said it, Casey. She set up that perfect pass, which led to a kill from Dyer.
Dyer goes back to serve now for the Bearcats. Muth can't get it over, and we're tied at 24. You got to win by 2, so that takes away set point for Texas A&M. Timeout. Laura Bird-Coon wants to talk about it with her team.
I think it's important to call a timeout right here and make sure you know exactly where you're going and what you want to do, because this is an important set. This sets the tone for the rest of the match, and if you're the Aggies, you want to take this, especially at home.
You mentioned Lednicki hitting .556. She's got 5 kills on 9 attacks right now in this match. Madison Bowser for the Aggies, 4 kills on 7 attacks, hitting .571. And then Caroline Muth, 4 kills, hitting .333. So the hitting for Texas A&M has been there for the Aggies so far here today.
They're hitting .378 as a team, and Sam's hitting .323. Both teams are hitting very well right now. It's just a matter of who's going to want it more and who's going to not make the mistake. You don't want to play to not make the mistake. You want to swing aggressively and you want to swing hard, but it all starts with the pass. And yeah, I mean, both teams, Casey, are playing well in all aspects of the game. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Madison Dyer, 5 kills on 7 attacks, hitting .714 for the Bearcats right now as they tied this set up at 24-24. Again, you must win by 2, so set point taken away from the Aggies. The Bearcats fought off 2 of them there at the end of that last little rally. Dyer will continue to serve. She's got a tough serve as well.
She does. It's a good, strong jump float.
Here's Dyer. Muth sends that one over to Lednicki, who comes from the left side and sends it down perfectly.
This is why the two of them are so good, because they both hit out of system balls well. Caroline Muth sends this all the way across the court, and then the lefty hits it down the line. That is such a tough ball to hit, and she made it look so easy.
Well, here's Muth on the serve. She's got a tough serve, but that one goes out, so the point goes right back to the Bearcats, and we keep going here in set number 1.
Muth took so much off that ball, and when she did, it just absolutely sailed on her. I get not wanting to be super aggressive, but when you change your approach that much, it's not going to end up well.
Lednicki has to run that one down, and it goes off the hands down on the court for the kill for Texas A&M, taking them to another set point.
Well, once again, Muth decides to take this ball, sets it to Lednicki behind her. Sam wanted the double contact violation, but it's not called. And Lednicki, what a smart play. Again, the freshman playing with so much maturity to just tip that ball off the block.
Allie Fields now comes in to serve for the Aggies. Missed her only other serve of the day. Krieger comes up big for the Bearcats to fight off another set point.
Yeah, you got to give the Bearcats credit. They have done everything they can defending these set points. Really nice swing right there by Krieger before she goes back to serve.
Logan Lednicki answers right back at Krieger with a big swing. 8 kills now for the freshman.
Let's see the block on this one. Again, a huge split. Morvant just doesn't get all the way over, and Hyder is floating outside. You're never gonna block Lednicki like that.
And that's how the set's gonna end, on an ace. And so the Aggies fought hard. Sam Houston fought just as hard. And the Aggies come away with a first set win, 28-26.
Great job by Lednicki to finish that one off with not only the kill, but then the ace. Great job by the freshman.
All right, we'll see what set 2 holds when we come back to Reed Arena right after this. A great first set to open this match between Texas A&M and Sam Houston as the Aggies come out on top, 28-26, and it was a barn burner for sure. It started off mostly Aggies, and the Aggies led by as many as 5, but then Sam Houston came storming back.
And Texas A&M ultimately just became the better hitting team, especially towards the end of the set. 21 kills, hitting .425. That is a hitting percentage that any coach in the country would be ecstatic about. Blocks weren't huge for either team. 2 for Sam, 1 for Texas A&M. And the aces were, about the same, just flip-flop. Ultimately, Casey, both of these teams played great all-around volleyball, and that is why the score was as close as we saw it.
Logan Lednicki led all with 8 kills, hitting .667 in that first set. The freshman, SEC Freshman of the Week for this week after her performance in Fort Worth, is absolutely killing it here this evening.
And sometimes you hear coaches say that those SEC honors, the weekly honors, are the kiss of death, and especially when it's for a young player, because they come out with all of this pressure that they feel on their shoulders, and instead of coming out and playing tight or playing like she was supposed to play a certain way, Logan Lednicki has not changed anything about her game. She is playing like the true freshman that we've seen all season, which doesn't look anything like a true freshman. She has just been lights out tonight and playing with so much confidence, and more than that, Casey, just fun. She looks like she's having fun out there.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. All right, set number 2.
That and winning.
That and winning is important as well. Let's not beat ourselves up on that one. Muth taps it over, and Bearcats are going to try to run this one down, but unable to. So the Aggies start off with a 1-0 lead here in this first set, or in the second set, I should say, after winning the first set, 28-26. There's Dyer coming back with a big swing, and That's going to be her 6th kill of this match.
Madison Dyer has been a lot of fun to watch tonight. So you mentioned 6 kills already on the match. That's a lot for a middle. And she does such a good job. I mentioned this earlier. She hangs for such a long time in the air that she's able to see the block and hit around it.
Free ball now for the Aggies. They go to Molly Brown, who sends it over. Bearcats dig it up. Melissa Fields did a nice job on that for the Bearcats, but Texas A&M comes through at the end with a kill by Muth.
Yeah, Sam is playing very scrappy, doing a nice job, but I think right now the power of Muth and Lednicki are just proving to be too much. Sam has got to find an answer for those two, and let me tell you, if they find it, it's like gold, but it's going to be tough.
Over the block for the kill.
I want you to watch Lauren Hogan, the libero, right here. After this defensive play, she makes sure to set behind the 10-foot line, because if she steps in front of the 10-foot line, Caroline Muth is not allowed to jump and hit that ball. It'd be considered a back row attack. The smartness coming from Hogan and knowing where she is on the court is incredible.
The Aggies have to run this one down to send it over, and here comes Dyer out of the middle, dug up by Hogan. Then a big swing from Lednicki on the right side for the Aggies.
Team effort, absolute team effort right here. Lauren Hogan all over the court. And then a beautiful swing by the freshman. Dyer was there. She closed the block, but she was just a little bit too soft. And that's why that ball powered off of her hands.
Krieger sends that one out after taking the serve. Timeout, Sam Houston State. Brenda Gray doesn't like this 3-0 scoring run the Aggies are on to take a 4-1 lead here, a 5-1 lead, I should say. So it's all Aggies here in set number 2. We'll see if the Bearcats can fight back when we come back to Reed Arena right after this. Back at Texas A&M as the fans are dancing in the stands and what they're seeing so far from their Aggies here in set number 2. Texas A&M out to a 4-point lead here. Dyer comes out of that timeout with a big swing. Underwood was there, but nobody else could get to the ball after she dug it up.
Well, you know who their go-to is. When the Bearcats need a point, they're going to Madison Dyer. She has been great out of the front row.
7 kills in this match so far, hitting .636. Now she goes to the back row. Free ball coming now for the Bearcats. They'll go outside to Krieger, who tips it over. Muth finds that deep corner for the kill.
And I love that Texas A&M knows exactly where they're supposed to be on the court. The Bearcats tried to trick the Aggies by going deep into the back corner, and Ava Underwood did what she does best. She covers ground, she got there, and then Caroline Muth was able to come away with the kill. Just a really pretty team effort by the Aggies tonight.
Point for Sam Houston State, as that set was a little too tight for Lednicki to do anything with.
Yeah, and it was coming off of a tough pass. Just overall, not a great play for Texas A&M. You give credit to Sam for staying tough at the net, coming away with the block. They really need some points right now. They're only down by 3, but the Aggies were really kind of starting to pull away. Sam's now back in it. They got to get back up into this ball game.
Avery Fowler goes back to serve for the Bearcats now. Aggies go back to Bowser, who sends it over. That's going to go just wide, and good idea, just didn't execute.
And right now, Kara Kazi is flying all over the place because the passes are very quick. They're not necessarily to target. She's kind of running rampant right now. The Aggies have to be able to let her slow down a bit. They've got to get a pass here. There it is.
Muse sends it over with a tip, and the Bearcats try their own, but unable to execute that over the net.
Yeah, Morvant unable to get that one over the net. Bowser was there on the block, but she immediately came down saying, nope, didn't touch that one. So a hitting error for the Bearcats, give the Aggies another point.
Aggies have led by as many as 4 here in this second set. Bowser blocked, big time block coming from Morvant there for the Bearcats.
Yeah, nice job right there, redeeming herself a little bit after the hitting error. She does a great job. That little stutter step over and then dives in, seals off the block, seals off the hole. That's exactly what you got to do as a middle. Really nice job blocking right there by Morvant.
Elizabeth C. was the other Bearcat there that closed off the block with Morvant to keep Bowser from getting the point. Kennedy Miller served that one into the net for the Bearcats.
Yeah, we're seeing a few new faces for the Bearcats in this set. I think that's the first time we talked about C, and definitely the first time we've seen Kennedy Miller tonight as well.
Lauren Hogan serving for the Ags. Brooke Frazier.
Brooke Frazier into the match for Texas A&M as well. She'll serve it up here for the Aggies. Morvant with a nice job of following through on that, was blocked, and then a nice job by Sam Houston to push that ball back over.
And here comes Madison Dyer, so their go-to hitter back in the game for the Bearcats. Trailing by 2, but a very good opportunity right here to get back in the ball game, tie it up, maybe even take the lead.
Nikki, I swear she hung for 5 seconds right there. It felt like an eternity before she swung at that ball.
She just has such a long, large approach, and she creates so much power. It almost looks like she's hitting that ball behind her head, which is not what you want to do, and it's not what she's doing. It looks like that because her arm reaches so far back, and it's like a whiplash, just going straight through the volleyball. Creates so much power.
Hecht off the net. Bearcats running it down. Hyder will send it over. Molly Brown with a nice swing for the Aggies to get the point. Back to a 4-point lead now for Texas A&M.
We called Brown's name early on in the game, and then she was quiet for a little while. Finally, another kill for Brown, and a nice job. Again, running out of the middle.
Nikki misses her serve on that one, and you could tell she's frustrated with herself after missing that.
Well, Texas A&M has missed a lot in the net, and those are bad misses, or what we call bad misses, because you don't even force Sam to make a decision. That's just a free point to the other team. If you at least serve over and long, you make the other team follow the ball, make that decision, and earn that point a little bit more.
But then she comes right back and answers with a kill.
And that's what you gotta love. When you do miss a serve or when you do make a hitting error, you come back and you get the next point, you shake it off. This is why I love the game of volleyball. You have 25 points to work with in every single set. Yes, every point matters, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world if you make a mistake. You have another point immediately after that. And that is what Logan Lednicki did right there.
You saw the hitting percentage of 688 show up there. That's just astronomical for a freshman, true freshman.
For anyone,
really,
that is
truly.
a wild hitting percentage. Now, it may not stay that high through the rest of the match. We'll see, but it has been up there for this entire time.
Caroline Muth comes back for the Aggies, making it look very easy.
When Texas A&M is in system, Casey, it is like they're hitting on an open net because they're hitting exactly where they want to. She had a block up, but she just goes right around it or right through it. They're doing whatever they want when they're in system. That's why that pass is so important.
Sam Houston has problems with the pass. Back to Muth, blocked. Gonna go out. Point Texas A&M.
And that's where that strength comes in handy again, because even when you do hit it into the block, you are hitting the ball so hard that if the block is not pressed straight down, it's gonna ricochet off and go somewhere. And with that much power behind it, that's exactly what happens. It ricochets out of bounds.
Sam Houston calls a timeout. They want to talk about it a little bit more as they've seen the Aggie lead now grow to 5, which is the most it's been here in this second set. Logan Lednicki hitting .688, 11 kills on 16 attacks right now, and I know we're talking about her a lot, but we talked about her before the match, we talked about her a lot during the match, but there's reason why.
Both of these players have just been absolutely incredible the whole season, and what I love the most about these two is they are brand new faces to this Texas A&M program. They both have big, strong ties to Texas A&M, but you've got a true freshman and then a graduate transfer who played her career at Notre Dame. And they come into this program, Casey, not only do they make an impact, they immediately fall into those leadership roles. Whether you're a freshman or you're a fifth-year senior, you have a position on this team. And Lednicki and Muth have done such a great job of wearing the maroon and white this season, and I'm really excited to see what else they have for the rest of it.
Well, they're both a couple of new faces on this team. You mentioned Caroline Muth there. You see transferred from Notre Dame. Molly Brown came from Purdue. Lauren Hogan and Elena Karakasi came from Syracuse. And then Mia Johnson, who hasn't played in this match yet, transferred in from Hawaii.
And we have seen Mia Johnson this season. So these are 5 players that came in from other programs and were immediately expected to step into a role on the court. Johnson we saw a little bit in the first weekend, and she's definitely an option for the outside hitter role for Texas A&M. But this is a situation where Bird Coon just did a fantastic job of utilizing that transfer portal. Some coaches do it better than others, and this was a very good year for Bird Coon.
Hogan stepping into the libero role for the Aggies this year after seeing a lot of playing time at Syracuse. Dyer runs into the net on that one, not quite over. We'll see if they credit them with the block on that one or not.
Yeah, I thought that was all net as well, and that was a rare hitting error for Madison Dyer. Her first error of the night. She is still hitting .500 for the match.
That serve goes out from Hogan as she gets under that one a little too much.
And that's what we call a good miss, right? Because even though it was out, she still forced Sam to make that decision. And those service errors, it's a lot for Texas A&M. That's definitely one part of the game where they're struggling right now. If you have to pick one part, it is from behind the line. Sam gives it right back.
Dyer misses that serve, only the second service error for the Bearcats here tonight. Krieger gets the kill for the Bearcats.
Catherine Krieger is a player, they need to get going even more. This is an outside hitter who should get a lot more swings than she has so far tonight. She's got 4 kills on 13 attempts. This is an outside that you need to keep feeding the ball. She is your kill leader on the team, and I just don't think she's gotten enough action.
Aggies tip it over. They go back to Krieger on the outside, and she gets another point off the block. Krieger, a junior. We mentioned how young this Sam Houston team is. A lot of freshmen and sophomores, 1 junior, and that's her.
Yeah, and so she comes in with some experience. She's been with this program from the beginning, and again, led the team with 69 kills coming into this match, and she just showed her offensive power in those last 2 swings.
And then the Aggies give up an ace on that serve. Still lead by 3. But the Bearcats are now on a 3-0 run here in set number 2.
And what's important, too, is this run is without Madison Dyer on the court. The Bearcats have to produce points even when she's not on the floor.
The Aggies answer with Maddie Bowser getting the kill off that middle hit.
Well, the Aggies had struggled the last few points. They needed this, and Maddie Bowser, love that she goes to the right of the middle blocker, more advanced. She saw her up. Instead of trying to cut to the left, just went straight with her arm. Nice cut shot right there.
Krieger off the right side, sends it over. Lednicki got a little early to that ball. Sends it over in the court, though. The Bearcats have some communication issue on who was going to take that third ball.
Yeah, that ball's right at Morvant. She's got to just take control, and I'm not sure. Krieger may have called it, but she had to run a really far way to get to that ball, and that should have been a free ball back over to Texas A&M.
Little miscommunication continues between Morvan and C on that one. They weren't sure who was supposed to take that swing.
Well, they both went up for quick sets with about 2 feet in between each other, and so that set really could have been for either one of them. I don't know if that's Fowler's fault. They were just too close to one another.
Hecht down the line for the kill for the Aggies, and the Aggies feel the momentum on their side.
This is a beautiful swing by CeCe Hecht. The outside sees that hole down the line, puts it right down the line with a sharp spin, and she knew she had it wide open.
Opened it up to a 7-point lead now on a 4-0 run here for the Aggies. Bowser, 5-0 run, 20-12 now in favor of Texas A&M.
Such a balanced offense tonight. I love that for Texas A&M. They had been so pin heavy, but they are really doing a great job of getting Bowser involved in this match.
Muth misses her serve again. She's missed all 3 of her service attempts here, or 3 of them. Not all of them, but 3 of them here tonight, and that's the kind of serve she has. It's a risk-reward.
Well, she's been staying down. She's finally stayed down in this set. She wasn't jumping and still missed, so that's the issue. If you're going to stay down, you really got to focus on getting that ball over and in.
High set for Hecht, blocked. That was C, it looks like, who got all of that one.
Yeah, a lot of emotion and celebration coming from C, and you can always tell which blocker probably got more of a hand on it by that, but just a nice job, especially after CeCe Hecht did a great job of going down the line on her last swing. They were able to make the adjustment, push her back in, and get the block.
To Bowser, finds that deep corner for the Aggies.
We saw Molly Brown hit that back line earlier tonight. This is such a great spot. Middles always want to hit the ball really hard and straight down, especially young middles. But as you grow in this game, you realize how tough that ball is to defend when it's on the perimeter of the court, Casey. And so a lot of times you'll see middles going for that deep ball versus that straight down ball. First of all, it's a lot harder to block, and it's really hard to dig because most of the time the defense is sucked in on that middle attack.
Brooke Frazier goes back to serve as Lexi Gwynn comes in the game now for the Aggies to play some front row. Lednicki uses the block to her advantage there.
A few new faces on the court for Texas A&M, but they're still going to go to Lednicki. Gwynn tried, ends up getting blocked, and then Lednicki just powers through it for the kill.
There's going to be an ace for Brooke Frazier.
Really nice serve by Brooke Frazier, who's got quite a bit of playing time on this season and does a really nice job in the back row for Texas A&M, but again, a really aggressive server too, and that's important for a defensive specialist who's coming in.
That one tips the net. Bearcats are going to send it over. Lednicki down to the courts. 13 kills now for her in this match. Set point now for the Aggies to go up 2-0. just gets a hand underneath it, but then the block is there, and the Aggies are celebrating. Coxofalo gets that block. She was a new one on the court that we didn't get to mention. But the Aggies take set number 2 here, 25-14. They're now up 2-0 here in this best of 5. We'll see what set number 3 brings when we come back to Reed Arena and Bryan College Station right after this. Back as the Aggies now up 2-0 over the Sam Houston State Bearcats here in this best of 5 from Aggie Land. And I know we said their name a lot, but Lednicki and Muth, the 2 stars getting it done for the Aggies.
The true freshman has been lights out. After being named SEC Freshman of the Week on Monday, she pretty much left off right where she went against TCU, 13 kills. This is what's wild, Casey. She's hitting .684. She has not made an error at all tonight, and she's done 13 kills on 19 attempts. Don't forget the blocking game, because it's there as well. Lednicki with 2 on the night. Now, as for Caroline Muth, not too shabby either. 10 kills on the night for the 5th-year senior. She is hitting .444 on the outside for the Aggies, and what I love about these 2 players is they can do it from no matter where they are on the court. Front row, back row, left side, right side, anywhere they are, Karakazi finds them and they produce points. Lednicki with 2 aces on the night. That's probably the one part of Caroline Muth's game I can say hasn't been great tonight is her serving, but ultimately she's making up for it on offense, and the Aggies are in complete control in this match.
We'll see who comes out fighting in set number 3, not to be outdone. Madison Dyer is hitting .500 with 7 kills for Sam Houston State, and then the closest to her is Krieger with 5 kills.
And I want to see Sam getting Krieger more involved. She was their kill leader coming into this match. She's only got 5 kills on the night, hitting .118. She needs to be more of a point producer for the Bearcats in this set. Madison Dyer has been excellent, but of course they can keep her going in the middle as well.
Krieger, their number 18 for the Bearcats, as they sport their signature orange jerseys here tonight. Bowser gets it started the way they got started in set number 1 with a kill off a great pass for the Aggies.
And Casey, we talked about Muth and Lednicki, but I love that Madison Bowser has been more into this match. We've seen her swinging a lot out of the middle. She's got 8 kills, hitting .538. That is a big number for the middle, who honestly was a little quiet in the first weekend tournament, and I think she's just getting better and better as this match progresses.
Point for Caroline Muth, and you notice there's a new setter in the match for Texas A&M as well.
Yeah, that's going to be number 13, Nisa Buzultepe. She's the sophomore out of Istanbul, Turkey, and a very good setter, has beautiful hands. Love to see that she's going to get some playing time tonight.
There's a block, and that's Casopala. We talked about her at the very end of the last set, but she's new to this game for the Aggies. Hasn't gotten any playing time at all this season, really.
Yeah, true freshman, and I think that might have been a lot of Caroline Muth, but regardless, you've got to close that block, and that's what Casopala did. I love that block on the outside for the Aggies.
That's going to go off the block for Hyder to get the kill for Sam Houston to get on the scoreboard here in set number 3.
Yeah, same 2 blockers on the outside. This time Haley Hyder goes right through him for the kill.
Lednicki back row attack off the block. Dyer wants to get that cut shot. We're going to have a touch called, a net call, I mean to say, on, looks like Casopala was in the net. Lednicki out of the back row. Sam Houston, nice job digging that one up. Muth out, just out. So point Bearcats.
That ball was hit so hard, and I saw it come out of Volleyball sep's hands, and it was really fast. And I think Muth just went down the line and got a little bit too wide on it. That ball just kind of traveled on her, but really powerful hit. She's just got to turn that ball in.
There's the block from Casopala and Caroline Muth, and I think that was all Casopala.
Oh yeah, you can always tell from the celebration. She gets so pumped after this ball, does a great job of closing the block and going straight up and pushing it over. The true freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas has plenty to celebrate after that block.
Nice change of speed there coming from the Bearcats to get that point.
Yeah, Alyssa Fielder just took a little bit off, goes off the block of Texas A&M and then falls to the ground for the point.
Fielder again uses the block. So taking some inexperienced blocking there from Casopala and using that to your advantage.
Yeah, and anytime you see fresh new faces on the other side of the net, you know that they've put in some subs, and if you're the Bearcats, you got to take advantage of that. This is a time for you to try to take control, and they go off the block of Casopala. She just didn't have her hands completely over the net, and it was a little bit of a soft block.
Lednicki gets the point back for the Aggies with her 14th kill of the match.
And that's the ball control I'm talking about with Logan Lednicki. Anybody can hit a perfect set, but let's take this bump set that's off the net, take just enough off of it, but keep it in the perimeter. What a beautiful shot by Lednicki. That is a skill, not just athletic talent from the freshman.
Another big block. Lednicki wasn't prepared for that one to come right back down to her.
And neither was Caroline Muth, who should have been covering back there. She dove a little late, and even when she came up, she kind of said, hey, my bad. You got to remember to cover, even when it's Lednicki hitting. They're going to get a block on her every once in a while.
That one goes wide for Sam Houston as we're tied again at 6 apiece.
The Bearcats are doing a nice job of staying in there. And if you're Texas A&M, this is very valuable playing time for some of the players that aren't necessarily going to see the court in every single match, but you never know what's going to happen with injury throughout the season. There's so many factors, right, that could cause a player to not be able to play. So you get some of those subs on the bench playing time, and you know you can feel comfortable putting them into an SEC match or into a match late in the game, knowing that they have that confidence from games like this.
Maddie Bowser got that experience a year ago, and that's exactly how she is now a starter.
Right.
By getting that sub experience. That's going to go out for Brooke Frazier.
I think the one stat that Texas A&M will look back on this particular game and know that they have to do a better job of is those service errors, Casey. They've got 10 on the night, and it's just too many.
Another tie here as these two teams battle it out here in set number 3. The Aggies up 2-0. Cece Heck got caught in the net on that set by Volleyball was way
fast.
Out too.
It was out, and it was very fast. And Heck just honestly she couldn't catch up with it. And when she came down, she grabbed onto the net almost to support herself and catch herself.
Taking a little moment to walk it off here. They're just making sure that she's okay. Lednicki out. No touch called on that one. Point Bearcats. And they're up by 2 now here in this third set. Going to be a point as Hecht comes right back off that miss hit and gets a big kill.
Yeah, good to see her swinging aggressively. Love that for her, and love that she's okay. Also, Sam's there. They've got the block. They just got to seal the net, press their hands over. They were a little too soft on that one, and Hecht powered it right through.
That's going to go off Lednicki for the kill, and the Bearcats back out to a 2-point lead here.
Beautiful swing by Hyder on the outside for the Bearcats. She's able to find a line shot. You see how far over Volleyball sep is, and that's a smart block. The Bearcats have been hitting a lot of cross court tonight, so Volleyball sep that's exactly where she was positioned, but Hyder did a nice job of going around it.
Bearcats try to take advantage of an overpass, but Dyer just misses the hit into the net.
Ava Underwood in for Texas A&M and serving.
Another good set to Dyer. She just ends up mishitting that one and going right into the net. Point Aggies.
Underwood in to serve now for the Aggies. Fowler runs that down. And just another bad execution from Sam Houston, and they've allowed Texas A&M to now come back and tie this set at 10.
And I like the Bearcats. They're coming together after every point. They're talking it through because you got to keep that ball in play. Even if it's a bad pass, that play was salvageable. You got to keep it in.
Muth didn't even take an approach on that one, just jumped straight up.
Well, she couldn't because Volleyball sep's set was so fast. Because the pass from Hogan is fast, they just go boom, boom, boom. That is so quick. But again, the ball control, Casey, because Muth knows that she's not going to be able to just totally swing as hard as she can on that ball, but she pops it perfectly cross court.
Hyder takes some off that one, gets an overpass, able to swing again to tie it back up.
Lednicki has to have that dig, and she knows it. She just got a little bit lazy, reached for that one, and it goes over the net. The Bearcats are able to cash in on the overpass. Lednicki's just got to focus on defense and make sure she gets that ball to target.
Lucio serves it up for the Bearcats. Lednicki out of the back row, and there's another big block, and Dyer got all of that one for the Bearcats.
I'm going to take this moment to remind everyone that Madison Dyer is a freshman. She has been so impressive in the front row, both on offense and on defense. Actually, that's her first block of the night, but it was a huge one. 2 blocks. There we go. Updated stats. Second of the night.
But then to come back with a momentum killer and miss your serve.
Yeah, and that's what you can't do. You can't, kick yourself, so to say, if you're Sam Houston, especially coming off of a massive block like that. You got to try to keep the momentum. You got to keep that serve.
Pollen, that's why she's in the game. Look at that swing from the freshman.
I love this swing by Athena Casapala. Bird Kuhn told us at the beginning of this season, she's got a great arm and she is a physical presence. She just has to work on getting up to the speed of the game. That looked like she was pretty much up to speed right there, Casey. Beautiful swing.
And then she comes back with a huge block in the middle for the Aggies on that Dyer hit.
When you come off the bench and you get an opportunity to play, I don't care if it's against the #1 team in the nation or if it's against a team like Sam Houston State, you have to take your opportunity and cash in, and that is exactly what Athena Casapala has done tonight for Texas A&M.
Hyder off the block and gets the point back for the Bearcats. Lots of emotion being showcased here in this match.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love it. You've got to love the intensity. I mean, Texas A&M had complete control of set number 2. They put in a few new faces here in set 3. Things are a little bit closer. I love that the Bearcats aren't giving up. They are pushing right now, but you've also got some new faces for the Aggies who are showing out.
Baker digs that big hit from Lednicki. Out to Muth, and there's no dig happening on that one.
So Casey, I want you to watch this replay. Casapala, if we're able to get it, we're going to go to break, but what a beautiful hit by Caroline Muth to go into that timeout.
The Aggies up by 2 here in this third set. We'll see that replay when we come back right after this.
Texas A&M leads 15-13, and just before that media timeout, the Aggies had a really, really good point. And Casapala didn't come away with the kill, but I want you to watch her in this rally, I should say. The overpass comes over, Lauren Hogan. Casapala holds both blockers, leaving Caroline Muth wide open. That is such a nice job. As a middle, you should always be going in and always be going in strong. She does her job. That leaves her teammate wide open for the kill.
2-point lead now for the Aggies as they're trying to finish off with a sweep here of the Bearcats. Gonna go a lift called on Dyer on that one, but what a swing from Lednicki on that point.
On a complete out-of-system ball. Complete out-of-system. Lauren Hogan came out of nowhere, got that ball up. Caroline Muth literally punched it into the air. She was just trying to save it. And then Logan Lednicki comes away with one of the strongest swings we've seen all night. Incredible.
Hogan with 12 digs now here in this match.
I feel like she's got 1,200. She's everywhere.
Block wasn't quite there for the Aggies as the Bearcats come away with a point there. Alyssa Fielder gets her 4th kill of this match.
And we've seen Fielder a little bit everywhere on the front row for the Bearcats. So nice swing right there. Very versatile front row player.
And then another missed serve from the Bearcats. I think both teams are going to come back and look at the missed opportunities there.
Well, especially Sam late in this match. They were really, really good early on in this match, but Madison Dyer, one of the best servers they have. So not only do you miss your serve, but you take yourself out of the game as one of the best servers behind the line. And it could have been a really good opportunity for the Bearcats to get some points right there.
There's a block from Lednicki on the right side for the Aggies.
And another new face in the game for Texas A&M as Mia Johnson serves this one up. So it's a tough pass, which leads to an out-of-system play. Krieger had a nice swing out there, but that block is just way too big on the outside. You can't hit into it.
Johnson serves that one in the net. Johnson played the first weekend here of the Texas A&M Invitational for the Aggies. We called those matches and then sat out a lot at the TCU tournament. So she's a transfer from Hawaii, grew up in Texas, wanted to come home. But she's getting some playing time here for Caroline Muth here in this third set. They're going to keep going. It's going to be a block for the Aggies. And Brenda Gray is going to challenge this, whether or not there was an actual touch on that swing. And I agree, this is a good challenge from her. This is a point in the match when you need some momentum on your side. And she's challenging whether or not the ball cleared the net.
And not just momentum, Casey. That could be a huge swing, right? So instead of looking at 19-15, you might be looking at 18-16. And that's a much, much better score if you're Sam to deal with, especially late in this set.
Texas A&M seems to be running away with it after that media timeout. So there you see the official looking at the replay, and what they're looking for is whether or not in the middle of that rally, I think it was a CeCe Hecht swing.
I think you're right on the
whether
outside.
or not it actually crossed the net into the Sam Houston block or whether it was all tape. Sam Houston is challenging that, and you can challenge a touch like this. Each team has 2 challenges. This is the first one we've seen from either team here in this match. There really haven't been any questionable calls that we could see a challenge on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty clean match, but this is the first one that we've seen.
And if the call is reversed, then the challenge will be kept by Sam. If the call is upheld, they will lose that challenge. And then if we were to go to 5 sets, each team would receive an extra challenge. So a little bit different this year than we've seen in years past.
So the official challenge is whether or not there were 4 hits from the Aggies. And that, again, is on that CC Heck swing, whether or not a block touched the ball or if it was all net.
And when I saw it live, Casey, I'll be honest, I thought that it was for contacts. That's the final part of the play right there. If the call stands, if the play were allowed to go all the way through, it would be a block from Lednicki and Acapella that finished that match, or excuse me, finished that point. Casapala.
Official still looking at it to whether or not she's. So we'll take a look at the whole point and we'll tell you where you're going to keep your eye on whether or not it's going to be right here. Did CC Heck did that swing right there by CC Heck, did it clear the net or not? And that's what they're looking at on that first swing from the Aggies, is whether or not it did or not. From that angle, it looks like it did touch hands.
Well, and it's one of those interesting plays, like if there was no block up there, it may have not cleared the net. But if the block's up there and it makes contact with skin, that counts.
It counts,
it
absolutely.
Counts.
Now, there can be an inconclusive as well. In other words, there's not enough to say whether or not it did, and that way the call would stand. Confirmed would mean that they confirmed that it did not touch, or it was 4 hits. So we don't know if it was confirmed or if the call stands. I think the call stands, more than likely. So Hannah Baker is over as the captain for the Bearcats, talking to the up official about the rule. The Bearcats still haven't come back out on the court. Aggies are ready to go.
1, 2, 3.
So Baker will run back over now and talk to Coach Gray, the younger Gray, and the Bearcats will come back out on the court now. In 39 years, there's no doubt that Brenda Gray has seen it all.
Oh, yeah.
Seen it all. And then the Bearcats come right back and answer with a big swing out of the middle from Lee, or from C, I should say.
Yeah, beautiful swing right there from C. Bearcats, they wanted that point, so they went ahead and just took it right there.
Still a 3-point lead for the Aggies, 6 points away from closing out this match. Abby Lemon now in the match for the Bearcats serving. That's going to be a big point for the Aggies as it gets into 20. Maddie Bowser with her 10th kill of this match.
Gotta love when your middle gets to double digits, especially in less than 3 sets. Bowser hitting 600 right now.
Free ball coming now for Texas A&M. They go out to Hecht down the line, and she gets the kill.
And this is big too, Casey. Texas A&M really needs that second outside hitter besides Caroline Muth. And CC Hecht is doing a great job tonight, especially late in the match. Started off a little slow. Sometimes it takes her a bit to warm up. And then we saw the kind of scary moment where she got caught up in the net. But the last couple of swings that Hecht has had have been really good, and especially that one, making it 5 kills on the night.
Lednicki serves that one long. Point for the Bearcats.
Let's go.
As Hannah Baker will now get the serve for Sam Houston. Gonna have a double set call there, or gonna have a net violation, I should say, on Bowser there on that play, and Bird Kuhn is confused as to what was called. Now I think she's more clear now.
I think she knows what was called. I don't think she agrees with it.
No. Gwen is blocked back down in the court, and Johnson can't come up with the dig.
And
Sam Houston is making a run.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bearcats staying right in this set, not going away by any means. The Aggies really need to focus right here. The pass was there on the last play, just couldn't execute the kill.
Lednicki would like to have that one back, and we may see a timeout. We are going to see a timeout here from Texas A&M as Bird Coon wants to talk about it. Something that slipped by us, Madison Bowser with 10 kills. That's a career high for her.
Well, you mentioned it, Casey. She did a nice job last season, filling in, coming in off the bench, and gaining that game experience. She came back as one of the only real returners. CeCe Hecht was considered a returning starter. Bowser was another one of those players who wasn't a transfer or a freshman that we knew was going to see court time immediately, and she has done a really nice job of stepping up in that role. She said at the beginning of the season it was a little weird not having London, Austin O'Rourke, and Mallory Talbert, thank you, because they had always kind of been there with her, leading her and teaching her. And she said, now I realize I'm that middle, I'm that person in that position. And so to see her kind of grow into that has been really special.
Well, she's done a great job for the Aggies here in this match so far today. Again, she's hitting 600 along with those 10 kills.
And you got to give credit to the pass, because you got to have the pass to run the middle. They're putting it right there on target. She's so fast, her arm swing. Watch her arm swing when she gets up there. It is so quick that it's hard for blockers to figure out which way she's going. And you don't have to be, run crazy special plays with Maddie Bowser. You just got to go quick to the middle. She gets high, and she works around the block with that really fast arm swing.
So the Aggies trying to fight off this Bearcat run here. A 4-0 scoring run by the Bearcats. As we wait for the timeout to tick down to 0. Hannah Baker stands waiting to serve for the Bearcats. Baker in the back row here today, 9 digs in this match. That's going to be an ace to add to the collection, and we are tied up at 21 here in this third and deciding set. It could be a deciding set for the Aggies. The Bearcats are trying to extend this match to at least 4 sets here by winning this third set. 9 ties here in this set so far. And I don't know any other way to say it other than the wheels just kind of come off at Texas A&M right now.
Yeah, well, they subbed Caroline Muth back in after Mia Johnson was struggling in the back row, and now CeCe Hecht will come back in. And so it's unfortunate when you've got new faces in. You want them to do well. You want them to take care of that opportunity. But the back row, there was just miscommunication between Muth and Gwen, and so now they're going to get all the starters back on the court and see if they can get back into this.
Dyer digs that block up. And then nobody is there for the Bearcats on that second ball.
And that was just a really nice block by Buzeltepe and Bowser on the outside. Just staying calm, staying within themselves. Sometimes, especially late in a set, Casey, you get really anxious, and that's where you see those net violations. They did a really nice job of just staying up and strong, but staying out of the net. That's key.
Another tie at 22. Lednicki with a big dig. Free ball coming now for the Bearcats. No touch called on that one as Dyer gets too far underneath that ball.
And that's unfortunate for Sam, because that's exactly what you want right there. You want Madison Dyer to swing at that ball, but Dyer almost looked like she was trying to go high off the hands. Maybe the set was a little bit low. She hit that ball just a little too flat.
Sam Houston calls a timeout now as they want to talk about it as Texas A&M closes in on getting this match. The Aggies' upcoming schedule, taking a look at what they've got ahead of them after this match. They're back home again on Friday, hosting Louisiana Lafayette on the 9th, and then they are hosting Indiana, or they go to Indiana, I should say, on September 16th for a tournament also at Western Kentucky, Tennessee Tech, and then they begin conference play on September 21st at Ole Miss.
Yeah, so it's going to be a nice, finishing up on Friday here at home for Texas A&M, and then heading to Bowling Green for that Western Kentucky Volleyball Invitational, and that'll just be a good last test for the Aggies before they begin SEC play.
So to recap this match so far, the first set, there were 17 ties in that first set, Chelsea, 17 ties. The Aggies ended up coming away with that one 28-26. They easily won the second set 25-14, and now are up by one 23-22. If you're Sam Houston, what do you have to do here to fight off this Aggie win?
Yeah, well, obviously the first thing is going to be get the pass. I totally still believe in Madison Dyer, who you're looking at on your screen right there. Get the pass and then try to get her the ball and come away with the kill.
Well, Ava Underwood will go back to serve for the Aggies.
Ava Underwood serving for the Aggies as we return back.
Both teams have one timeout left here in this third set.
And I would not be surprised if we saw both of those at some point.
Absolutely. Underwood misses her serve, tied up at 23.
Not what you want to see out of a timeout if you're Texas A&M. But Underwood has an opportunity to make up for it with a good pass right here.
Net. Net. Net.
Lucio goes back to serve now for the Bearcats. That's going to go just long, and that's a hard one to let go because it started dropping and slowing down at the end.
That ball dropped so hard, and if I'm Lauren Hogan, I'm following that ball all the way to the line. She trusted her gut, and it paid off, but woo, that was close.
Set and match point now here for Texas A&M, and we are going to see a timeout called, or we're going to see a review. They're going to challenging whether the ball was in or out. It looked out to me. But this is a good use of your second challenge.
I'll tell you right now, the line judge just walked over to the up ref and said it was out. He believes in his call. He believes in himself. But it's your last challenge. It's a match point situation. I don't blame Brenda Gray for making this call at all. And it creates a timeout for your team.
Absolutely.
I know she still has one, but it creates a timeout for your team, and it allows you to kind of take a breather.
A&M gets to talk about it as well while the officials review this play to see whether or not this serve was in or out. Initial ruling was that the ball was out, so it'd have to be pretty conclusive that it was in. And there's a look at it, and you can see it's clearly out.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Give me one of those all day long, and I'll be right all season long. And what you can do is you can see all the maroon that the ball is hitting. So even there, you can technically say that's a tough angle because of the line, how the ball is blocking the line, but we would be able to tell if the ball was hitting the line inside the court or hitting the line at all. Right there, that's all maroon, that's all out. So another really nice watch by Lauren Hogan, the libero, and Ava Underwood also let that one go. It looked really close from where we were, but ultimately that ball is going to be called out. Yep.
And that's confirmed. So going to be set and match point now for Texas A&M as Lauren Hogan will serve it up for the Aggies. Muth gets a swing. The Bearcats dig it up, but then Muth goes back up and sends it out. And guess what? It's another tie at 24.
Such a great swing on the first swing by Muth, and then she couldn't take care of the overpass. But again, she's got a chance to redeem herself immediately with a pass or a swing on this play.
Sam Houston serving to extend the match. You got to win by 2. Baker runs that down. Free ball coming now for Texas A&M. Underwood sends it to Bizzetepe. Muth tips it over. That's going to go out of the antenna. Going to have a net call on Texas A&M on that one, on Caroline Muth. So now it's going to be set point for Sam Houston.
Another net violation by Texas A&M, and they've had quite a few this match. And that's just a really unfortunate time to have one. Never good to have one, but especially right there.
And Sam Houston gives the point right back by serving it in the net, so we're tied at 25.
And if you're the Aggies, you have absolutely got to take advantage of this. Sam Houston just gave you a gift with that missed serve. What are you going to do with it?
13 ties now in this set. And they go to Dyer, which you expect.
Absolutely. I would go to Dyer too. She has been red hot tonight for the Bearcats. But now she'll go back to serve.
Timeout called by Texas A&M as they want to talk about it on this set point for Sam Houston.
Timeout on the floor.
It's a great set. It's a great match. And, you know, we saw Texas A&M really take control in set number 2, winning that game 25-14. We saw those new faces come in for the Aggies. And yeah, you can say the inexperience cost them a little bit, but those points and that game time that they got is going to be an invaluable experience for those players. So I definitely don't blame Bird Coon for trying to change it up a little bit here in the third. And obviously they still very much have a chance to win this match in 3, but they're going to have to do, well, what they need to do right out of this timeout immediately.
You know, when you look at the stat comparison, A&M leads in most of the stat fields, 48 kills to 34, 8 blocks to 7, 33 digs to 30, hitting percentage 333 to 161 right now for the match. Where is A&M making their mistakes?
Well, you said that for the match. In this current set, they're only hitting 97. And so offensively, they've slowed down a little bit here in set 3. And then I think you will look back at some of the service errors and then some of those net violations. And we've seen a lot of those by Texas A&M. That's not a stat that I necessarily have right in front of me, so I'm not sure how many times, but it feels like a lot. We've seen that down ref calling Aggies in the net. So more than anything, they just have to play clean volleyball right here.
5 block errors on Texas A&M today, and I don't know if that's counts as what you're talking about, if
right.
that's the number they use for that category.
I would assume so, yeah.
Following the Texas A&M timeout, Sam Houston serves.
And it'll be really key right here, Casey, as we wait for this timeout to finish up for Madison Dyer to get this serve over and in.
And she does. Hogan takes it out to Lednicki. Little off. Krieger gets a swing. Back to Lednicki on that outside spot, and she gets the kill to tie it back up at 26.
Well, Sam was not able to take advantage of the Lednicki roll shot, and because of that, the Aggies got to set up another play. She was then able to get the big swing and the point.
Big block from Casapala there for the Aggies.
Wow. I love it.
You love to see the freshmen stepping up.
Yes, absolutely.
Another set and match point now for Texas A&M. Krieger off the block, gets the kill, and we're tied up again at 27.
No fear if you are Krieger. I love that. She knows how big that block is for Texas A&M, and she still goes up there swinging. That's what I love. I don't want a player right there who's going to tip or roll shot. Just go out swinging.
Hecht with a swing dug up by Baker. Out to Krieger. Muth is there. Back to Lednicki, straight down for the kill. And again, it's going to be, tell me if you've heard this before, set and match point for the Aggies.
This ball is hit so hard and so fast. First of all, great defense in the back row, right through the wickets of Alyssa Fielder. Again, that power, 17 kills on the day, hitting 394. That is just shy of her career high, 395, that she hit against TCU.
Brooke Frazier in to serve now for the Aggies to try to serve out the match. Krieger swings away and uses the block again, and we're back to a tie at 28.
They're finally getting Catherine Krieger going. Now she'll have to go back to serve. But what a few clutch swings from the junior.
Lauren Hogan returns for the Ags.
Logan Lednicki coming in clutch for the Aggies off the block to get the point.
And the great thing, if you're an Aggie, Logan Lednicki is now going to go to the back row, but guess what? She can do this from the back row too. Finds the split in the block. She's been doing it all night and just goes right through the seam.
Match point now for the Aggies. And that's how it's going to end, on a hitting error from Sam Houston. What a couple of games we've seen in this match here. Set number 1 and set number 3 both win extras. Overall, your thoughts on this match, Chelsea?
And even though it was probably closer than Texas A&M expected it to be, I love that they had to go through this test because they will face matches like this later on this season. And so the Aggies can look back at this and say, hey, even though it was close, we didn't give up. We stayed strong. We stayed competitive.